Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to bring you a video on how you can boost your credit. And I have Miss Jimena Cortez here, and she's going to tell you about a wonderful program, and it's called Smart Credit, you guys. And with Smart Credit, it's a great tool on all those who need help to guide them to improve their credit score. So I would like to introduce Jimena Cortez, and she's going to give you guys an overview and an introduction to Smart Credit.
Hi, well, thanks so much for having me on here. And yes, I'm really excited to share this with you guys. You know, we've been in business for over 19 years. We started in 2003. And we have 4 patents on our technology. So what I'm about to show you, you really can't get anywhere else. And the way that we're different from other platforms is that you don't just view your credit and get advice on what to do. You actually take action right then and there from the platform, and you get results, and you are able to boost your score. So it's really unlike anything you've probably ever seen.
And one of the features that I'm really excited with Smart Credit is the score builder. So I know you're going to give us a real short tour and touch on some of the features, but that one is very, very helpful because a lot of people need direction on what to do with their credit. On my channel, I try to give people information on how to improve their credit score, but many of them are not really able to apply that information to themselves to understand where to start. So I believe this, this service is a great way for people to begin to improve their credit scores. So I will let you take it over from this point.
Sounds good. So I'm going to share my screen. So when you log into your account, this is how it's going to look. And I'll just go through the top very quickly. This is going to be your credit score. This is being pulled from TransUnion, but we've also calculated your auto score. So if you're trying to get an auto loan, this is what they're going to look at. And if you're trying to get insurance, this is what they're going to look at. And if you're trying to get a job, this shows you your hiring risk index. So employers might look at this. About 50% of employers actually look at that. So you can also track your score over time. So as you start working on your score, you can see how it's gone up over the years. So I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple. Really, where we hold our patents and where you can get the results and take actions on your score are going to be these 2 features here. So this is what Sherry was talking about, the score builder. So you can see here. Right now in this test account, my credit score is a 639. I have 90 points I could get if I take action on Score Builder. And I've got another 78 I could get on Score Boost. So let's go here first. So it's a 120-day plan, so a 4-month plan to better credit. And you'll have a little bit of a tutorial. I'll skip through that. You guys can go through that once you have your own account. But we're going to show you, okay, these accounts here, they're all helping your score. So that's awesome, good stuff, right? But now here's these accounts that are hurting my score. And so most places are going to stop there, right? And all these are accounts, this X, Y, Z, and that. Like, well, no, we're going to keep going. We're going to take an action on these accounts that are hurting my score. So I could say, you know what, one of those was identity theft, or I want a goodwill correction, or you know what, that's an error. And I could say, I want to fix an error. And so I could say, hey, this is a duplicate account, or I was not 90 days late, or whatever it might be. I could add to my reasoning here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit next, and then I'm going to hit confirm mail delivery. Now, this is very important. This here is going to go directly to your creditor. So you're communicating directly with the source, which is who this account is with, versus sending the letters to all 3 bureaus. So I only have to send 1 letter to the creditor. If the creditor approves it, and by law, they've got 30 days to respond. So if they approve it, they have to communicate with all 3 bureaus, and they make the change.
And which is really wonderful because a lot of time, if you can get the creditor, especially with late payments, anything that's reporting negative, you can see it changed much quickly on your credit score, probably our credit report within like 28 days versus going through the credit bureau. So this is a wonderful option.
Yeah, and the credit bureaus right now too, ever since COVID, they've just been taking a lot longer to respond. So this might be a faster way to go about it as well.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, and so, and just to be clear, we're going to send mail delivery. So it's actually paper. It's either fax or an actual letter that we're mailing out on your behalf. So
Okay,
this is
wonderful.
not email, which is very effective. I know people might say, oh, well, electronic delivery does not affect them. No, this is effective.
Wonderful. That is awesome. And with the score boost feature, how does that work?
So this is really cool. So this is going to use my credit cards and the balances there to help me add points quickly to my score. So for example, let's say I'm in some sort of loan process and I need 30 points to get a better interest rate.
Okay.
Well, depending on what I owe my cards, this is telling me if I pay this amount of money and I split it this way, it gives you a custom plan based on your cards of where to put the money. And so it'll say, hey, pay this Capital One card by April 11, and then it's going to update to the credit bureaus by April 15. So if you pay this amount, you're going to get this many more points added to your score. And likewise with this Amex here. So I can just move the dial, and depending on how many points I need and what kind of budget I have, I can really, create a custom plan for myself.
Yeah, and so it gauges for people to take the guesswork out of what they need to do. And I love this because also if people are seeking advice from different kind of companies that might help them guide through trying to repair their credit, at least with this system, you can kind of safeguard yourself to understand and to know what course of action that you really need to take. And it's wonderful that you're able to do this yourself.
Yeah, and then likewise, if you're going to go on some sort of spending spree, it's going to say, hey, make sure you pay your cards off by this date, otherwise you lose 35 points. And one thing that's really important to note is, you have a due date on your credit card. Well, your due date is not your pay by date. So we figured out what that pay by date is. So you see here, this is something that there's AI technology. There's been a lot of back-end mathematical calculations. Even though it looks very simple, the little dial that you move, there's a lot of math behind this to figure out how many points it's going to affect you, when it's going to report, when you've got to pay it by. So, your due date is not the date. Because, for example, like before I used to work here, my credit score was always like a 720, 740. And I was always paying on the last day I possibly could by cards, right? And now I'm just using this strategy and I shot up 50 points and I'm usually in the 790s. And I'm not doing anything different except for just paying my cards on a different date.
And so that's the wonderful part. This is not just taking the guesswork out from the whole mystery of credit, but it's also educating people, because a lot of people don't understand how much utilization really hurts your credit score, and they can adjust their credit score to increase or boost their credit every 30 days if they learn how to pay their credit cards off on time. So this is a wonderful feature, and you'll be amazed on how many more credit card approvals people can get just by paying these cards down, because a lot of lending institutions are very wary if people are carrying balances and it's showing up on their credit report. So this is awesome.
Yeah, and so also within your membership, so you're going to have a 3-view report. So this is going to show you your Experian, your TransUnion, and your Equifax report. If you're on the Build membership, you get a 3-bureau report, one each month. So you can always stay track of what's going on with all 3 bureaus every single month. And it's also that we have an easier way to view your credit report. So if you've ever seen a credit report, it's not the prettiest thing in the world. It's very difficult to read. There's a lot to go to it that goes through it. So we just made it super simple. And if you just want to look at your negatives, you can look at your negatives. You can take actions from here as well, just like I showed you before. So we just really simplified that process so you can take control of your finances and control your credit and really make it simple and not need like a PhD to figure it out.
And that's wonderful because people can take control over their credit score and they can start to move forward with their lives. Credit is so important, from housing to employment. And as you shown, even for your insurance premiums, in this new economy with all this inflation, you want to save as much money as possible, especially on how much we're paying at the gas tank. So this is really worth every bit of the investment.
There's a little bit more I want to share with you guys.
Sure.
Because we were really an all-in-one platform. It's not just credit. It's a way to manage all your finances in one place. So if you notice here, we've created this money manager feature where I can connect my checking, savings, my investment accounts, my credit card, and I can get a real financial picture of everything that's going on. So, I mean, obviously, this is a test account, so you can see, it's kind of different, but I can see all my different transactions. And the cool thing is that I can set up alerts so that I can in real time get notified that there's a transaction that went through that might not have been me. So if I go here to alerts and insurance, I can set up my alerts to, let's say, anything over $100, I'm going to get alerted. So I was actually able to stop fraud on one of my credit cards.
Wow.
Because Amex didn't tell me, I mean, to them it's very normal that I travel, right? But somebody was booking up a hotel stay on my card and I got the notification. I'm like, well, I'm not staying at this hotel. So I was able to stop it. But had I not had this, I wouldn't have found out about the fraud until like a month or two down the line when I found out about the Amex account,
And some people are not overseeing their credit card charges that in depth. No. So that's an excellent option.
Yeah. And additionally, your membership is going to come with $1 million of identity fraud insurance. So it's one thing to build your credit, but once you've got good credit, you want to protect it. So again, we've created a platform where you build it, and then you want to keep it going there for the monitoring and for the protection from the insurance. That way, you're good to go no matter what happens in the future. And then you can also develop better money management skills with the money manager. So.
And that's excellent because, as you're saying, the money management skills, though, at the end of the day, credit is nothing but an algorithm. So what people need to learn is how to manage their behavior. So that is awesome that the system gets to show people and to help them learn how to manage their behavior. And this can be an ongoing process because at the end of the day, some people they're just so busy. The service can constantly keep them on track with their credit.
Exactly. So really, we've got two options, right? The build and the protect. And the main difference between the two is whether or not you get a 3-bureau report. So the 3-bureau report is going to be your Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian report. So you can see here, all the features that I just went over are included. And so on the Protect plan, you're basically you just want the 1-bureau report, which is going to be TransUnion. That's what comes included. That's going to be $19.95 a month. If you want to have the 3-bureau report and everything else, that's going to be $29.95 a month.
Honestly, in the realm of things, in order to improve your credit score and the amount that you're paying in interest and the fees just for having bad credit, that is a drop in the bucket. So I believe this is really great for you guys. If you are interested in this, I will have a link and a code below where you can just go directly to the website and you can check out all the options and features. And for those who are looking for consultations with me, I no longer do consultations. So this is a great option. So you know where you're starting off point, what's your issues with your credit? Because one thing that people always say to me, I need to fix my credit. The question is, that's like saying, I need to fix my house. What's wrong with your house? You have to know what is the issue. Is it the plumbing? Is it the carpentry? Is it the roof? Is it the electrical? And this is the same thing with credit. This is giving you guys the place to where to start and where you need to focus your energy to get your credit house in order.
Exactly.
Do you have any closing words? You was an awesome guest, and I really love the presentation because I believe this is helpful for people moving forward.
I would just say, if you even if you just want to monitor your credit and just, stay away from identity fraud, for example. Like I've been a member obviously for a long time, but even before I worked here, I had a membership, and I was just basically for the monitoring to make sure everything is good. But if you're really looking to build your credit and do it in an inexpensive way, push button, which saves you a lot of time. There really is no better platform. And like I said, we hold all the patents on the technology I showed you. So this is the best way to go for a more DIY approach.
And that's wonderful. So you guys can take control of your life and take control of your credit, because going forward in this new economy, you definitely, if you're a person that's looking to buy a home, housing, to rent an apartment, it's getting tougher and tougher the further we go along. Mm-hmm. So taking control of your credit is very necessary moving forward. You can't get anything nowadays, barely a glass of water, without having good credit. So check out the website. The link will be in the description of this video. I also always put it in the pinned comment sections. So if you need to have any questions or reach out, I am available, and just check out the website, and I'm quite sure the majority of people that's following this content can benefit from this program. So I thank you so much for your time. You were wonderful. Thank you for going through all aspects of smart credit, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.
Bye.